Well, what's up, fellow YouTube watchers, and welcome back to another episode of Project Time Garage, where it's really, really windy in southern Kentucky, and we're working back again on this motorhome. This is a 1975, I think it was, Holiday Rambler RV. Been in my family since it was brand new. Got 17,000 miles on it. Been in the drive most of its life. If you didn't see the first episode, go check it out. It's right up there. Today's objective: get brakes on it and wheels and tires on it, get it started and get it out of where it's parked. I want to see what kind of transmission we got, or if we have a transmission at all. We don't know yet. So let me show you what we got. Stop by the tire shop. Got us some 8 by 16.5 inch tires. Yep, they're 16.5s, and yep, they're hard to find. As you can tell by all the evidence here on the ground, we've been working on brakes. We've taken care of the front ones. Got new calipers and new hoses. Believe it or not, we didn't put any we didn't have to put any pads on it because they still look brand new, and those were the OE pads. They've never been changed. What else? We did some carburetor work to it, but I'm not so sure the carburetor is going to be viable. We've cleaned it out 2 or 3 times. It's just, I don't know, there's something up with it. He said he remembers driving it 20 years ago or so that it wouldn't take throttle. Anyway, I'm about tired of fooling with it. It's hard to get to, it's hard to mess with. So I think we're just going to buy another replacement carb at some point and stick on it, but the one we got on today will work for what we're doing today. So let me get you set up here. Let's get some wheels and tires on it. Let's see if we can move the damn thing out from where it's sitting. Well, the wheels and tires are back on it. It's the windiest place on earth here. It's literally a dust storm. See my eyes? Terrible. We're gonna back it up some, get the jack out from under it, and then try to back it on out in the sunlight for the first time in about 100 years. Let's take it for a quick ride. mechanism. Well, we know it sort of drives. That's a good thing. We got our front brakes taken care of. Carburetor is still an absolute wreck. A few days has gone by the way. So now we need to fly into the carburetor. I'm gonna go ahead and replace that carburetor because I've had it apart a couple of different times, and apparently this thing has been acting stupid for years and years. And it basically just doesn't pull enough fuel through it. The pump shot gets it up and then it immediately starts running out of fuel as you hold your foot in. You can hear an awful lot of air sucking through there and not enough fuel mixing with that air evidently. So you can keep, feathering the throttle and giving it that pump shot and get RPMs up. But if you hold it, 3/4 throttle, it'll just and backfire, lean, pop, die. So I'm gonna stick carburetor on there and see if that takes care of that. We're gonna do some rear brakes on it today, get that taken care of, and we might even try to venture out on the road with it a little bit, maybe drive it around here. These are extremely rural country roads. Seeing a car, well, that's pretty amazing. But either way, it's tagged and insured and good to go anyway, so nobody really cares. So if we break down, we break down. We have plenty of tractors and equipment to retrieve it should we need to. All right, let's jump into a carburetor real quick. This is our replacement carb. It is a Holley 2734. Reman, of course, as evident by the ND 2609 sticker there. Looks fairly good, except for, I don't know if you can see that on the ball right there. Looks like somebody prodded it with a screwdriver. Bet that'll leak. Well, all I know to do is put it on, see what happens. I thought I would take a second and just kind of show the underside of this thing for what it is. The frame still has the paint on it, and all the underside still has the factory red oxide primer all over it. Way up there you can see the transmission mount. It's still got yellow paint on it. That is the holding tank. You can still read the Thetford valve information on it. Still got the writing on the side of that tank. That'll be the factory original muffler, factory original U-joints, carrier bearing, and all such as that on here. Anyway, we just got done putting that brake hose on it right there, taking care of the brakes in the back. Just kind of hanging out here on the ground, you know, laying down on the job. Still has all of its original decals and stuff in place. Pretty awesome. Also, that right there appears to just be a hard metal plaque stuck to it, not screwed there. It's still there too. Pretty amazing. This sucker has all that still going for it after all this time. Okay, well, we have a carburetor back on it. Brakes are good now. Listen to how it starts now. Check this out. Even the gas gauge started working. Don't mind that. I've just got to pump the brakes up, or I'll let them. Guess that's going to do it for at least today's visit up here. I guess the next time I'm up here will be oil change, some hoses and some belts, and maybe try to drive it home, or maybe the next time. Anyway, for me it'll be a week or so, but for you it'll be just, you know, very quick, like, you know, a few seconds. All right, we're back with day like 3 or 4, this motorhome here. Today we're going to try to get belts, hoses, coolant, anything else like that it needs little. Try to drive it up the road and see how that works. So let's get into it. I know it's cold up here today, like 30 degrees, freezing. But hey, on a up note, 32 degrees, 2 pumps, accelerator, set the choke, thing fired up and idled. That's good. This is what we're dealing with. I've got a heater hose that needs to come off right here. And I've got another one that needs to come off way up there. This hose right here. That sucker's back in there. And also we got a belt that needs to come off up there. It's going to be cramped quarters to say the very least. We'll make do though. Here's something interesting. Look at the way these are done. These are air conditioning hoses. Listen how good this thing starts. How about that? Can't even hear it run. Let's go ahead and take it down the road, see what it's going to do. I've not had this thing up over about 20 miles an hour on a farm road yet, so get it out on a side street and just kind of see how it behaves, because we want to do all the testing we can before it's time to actually take it home. Well, this will be her maiden voyage. We're not going to drive it far, just going to drive it around a little bit, around this square block or whatever. A little bigger than a square block, but I just want to see what it's like when you get it out and get it going. I want to make sure I don't have any strange noises or weird vibrations or funny fires or unexpected explosions. I'm fine with the expected explosions, I just don't want any unexpected ones. So let's see what happens here. Okay, what's going to happen? Man, it's so quiet with the doghouse back on it. Oh, it drives so good. Oh, it drives awesome. It's rough though. Tires, I bet it's the tires. Let's see if we can get a little speed out of it here. That's 40. Oh yeah, these tires are rough. There's 40. Yeah, the tires are really rough. They're bi-split tires, so I expect them to be really, really rough. 50. Oh, it's not, yeah, 50 is good. 50 feels fine. Heck yeah. Okay. Well, I'm impressed with that. This thing runs actually way better than I ever expected it would. Handles like a dream if you're dreaming of nightmares. Yeah, I've got a tire that feels square at certain speeds. Let's get in it. Pretty good. We got good oil pressure. We got our temperatures just right. Almost no fuel, which probably is going to be about average for it. And alternator is charging when I'm on it and not discharging too bad when I'm not on it. So I'd say the carburetor is probably fine. Okay, well, we know it runs, we know it drives. I'm not sure if I'm concerned about these tires or not. They're a brand new set of tires, but they're bias ply kind of trailer tires because they're 16.5 and a weird size. Nobody carries them, nobody makes them. So I don't know, why did I just go with 16s, you ask? Because it changes a whole lot, and this thing's just going to be sitting anyway. We just basically need to get a set of tires on it to transport it about 100 miles or so. But I guess I guess I've driven it enough to trust it for 100 miles. I mean, once around the block, I guess we can hit it. So, so the next day that I'm up here, the next little segment in this video for you will just be a couple of minutes. I think we may we're going to see about washing it a little bit, just trying to clean it up a little bit so it doesn't look quite so Cousin Eddie. And I think we're going to try to drive this thing home. So that'll be an interesting video right there, if it'll make it. Hopefully it won't be hopefully it'll be a very boring video. You know, no side of the road shenanigans or anything like that. Anyway, okay, you'll see me again in a minute and we'll see about driving this thing home. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Nice cool morning in Kentucky. Today's the day. It goes home or it leaves us stranded. Get a battery put on it and or get a battery hooked up. See how the cold start works. Give it one pump of the gas, set the choke, see what happens. Maybe 2 pumps of the gas. Maybe a few pumps, 3, 4, or 5. Set the choke. Let's see what we got. So close. Few more pumps. Almost. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to keep it running.
Try going on the gas.
I'm gonna have to, I just can't reach it. First thing we're going to do today is we're going to get this blower motor out. It's seized up, and we may run into some rain on the way home. So if we run into some rain, then you know you're going to have all the people breathing in the vehicle and all that mess. So better to have a little bit of defrosting. Do that. We're going to have to get this out of the way, and hopefully this will be a quick and easy thing. Let me show you where the blower motor's at. Right here. So not hard to get to. It's only got one wire. It's this white one here that goes through the firewall. My plan is to cut the white wire and splice it. And then of course I think this is the ground for it. So we'll just take that ground loose and that should be it. So I'll be back with you in a minute when I get this thing off. Well, I'll give you 3 guesses what's going to happen with it next. As far as what's in the pump sprayer, we've got LA's Totally Awesome, a little bit of Purple Power, some Toe of Fig, some Eye of Newt, and some Billy Goat Spirit. You know, when it comes to campers and old RVs, I'm just a huge fan. Speaking of fans, every once in a while I run across something that I think is just nifty and I want to share it with you guys. In this case, it's this neat little floor fan sent over by the folks at SetPower. Here's what makes it so cool for a guy like me. It's battery powered. Look, Ma, no cords. It's rechargeable, and since it's a 12-inch variety, it's really easy to pack it in your junk and take it with you when you're going places. And I go a lot of places. And they claim that it'll run for 38 hours on a single charge. That'd be on the low setting. 5.5 hours if you're running it on high. Oh, and it charges in like 2 hours. Plus it has a metal frame all the way around, so it's likely to survive people like me. And if your phone is running low on charge, it's got you covered. You can plug in right there and charge up your ancillary devices. That'd be your cell phones and whatnot. Since it has a brushless motor, it's super quiet. I mean, listen to this. Or don't listen because you can't hear it. Turn it all the way up. All you can hear is the sweet sound of air. And why am I outside bundled up on this beautiful sunny day? Well, that's how good this thing works. Also, I really like how the switch on it is variable. It doesn't have a bunch of clicks to it, so you can really set it where you want it. LED charges in 20% increments from 20 to 100. Did I mention it's battery powered and I can just stand here like this? So the motor is brushless, and that's why it's so quiet. It makes it really handy if you're like gonna spend the night in a tent in the summer and you want a breeze blowing across your face because it's 174 degrees in the campground. This helps. Also, for people like me who are recording content, it's nice to be able to have a fan running in the background and the noise isn't drowning out the video. The big metal hard case and the fact that it doesn't weigh anything, that makes it really, really handy to take out in the field when you're doing revivals and you're dragging junk home like we tend to do on this channel a whole lot, or when you're camping, which is another thing we tend to do a whole lot. So best believe, if I'm out in the field somewhere, you're gonna see this thing a lot because it's gonna be there keeping me cool with its 2,500 CFM of airflow. So if you like this, I'm gonna put a link down in the description box below this video where you can head over to SetPower's website. I'm also gonna do you a solid. I'm gonna throw a discount code down there as well. So when you go there and you put this thing in your cart, go ahead and stick that code in there because every little helps. You seen the price of eggs? Anyway, back to what you guys came here for, driving this motorhome home. Figure while we're up here, might as well see the 8640 will start. This is one of two, but this one's a little, it's been sitting here a little longer. It's a little rougher one. I think the last time this thing was started was probably in probably at the harvest time, so that's been a few months. See what it'll do.
Can I drive it?
Yep.
Let me go first. This is bigger. Oh my gosh, the wheels as tall as me.
Yeah. Come on. Well, first off, let's see if it actually gets started.
Right now.
Yeah, it ran. Did you have a fun ride?
Yeah.
Well, I guess nothing to it but to take off. See what happens. Full send. There's not a tachometer in here.
You let the big dog up?
I just have a feeling it's probably at 55 miles an hour. It's probably turning a few RPMs. Actually, it rides and drives real good right here, except for the wind.
Yeah, the wheel is long as a thing when we catch it. I rode on the interstate at 65 for years.
I might get my nerve up by the time we get all the way down to 840. I might have my nerve up enough to just get on 840 and send it. We'll see.
Well, you're driving.
Getting that speed up like that really helps the tires out a bunch. Well, made a quick stop. kind of walk around and feel the wheels, make sure nothing's silly, make sure everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing, make sure nothing's hot. So far so good. I'll even run in here and get a sandwich while we're at it, because is it sandwich time?
Sandwich time.
Sandwich time. Let me feel these other two wheels and see what they're like. Oh. I got one axle there that's a little bit warmer than the rest, but we'll see how that works out. Anyway, okay, let's eat. Look at it, majestically perched there. Best looking truck in the parking lot, or best looking thing in the parking lot. Okay, got a Whopper Junior in us. Let's hope it makes it the rest of the way. So far we're, I don't know, probably 30, 40 miles, maybe 30 miles into our trip, something like that. Things running great. Running along about 50, I don't know, 56, 57 miles an hour, something like that. Got good oil pressure, temperature's right in the middle, have fuel. Alternator's charging. Everything looks good. So, hopefully with any kind of luck, doing this. Throw down just a few more miles. You guys aren't gonna believe this. 60 miles an hour, no foot on the gas pedal at all. The cruise control works. Do you believe that? I don't. Watch. Off. What do you think about that? On, resume. Look at that. Crazy. I cannot believe it. Everything works. All of it. I'm not sure if I'm brave or dumb, but I'm about to get it on the interstate. We'll see what it does at 65 or so. Eek.
I think you're a little dumb.
Well, you only live once, I guess, huh? Well, so far so good. I mean, we've made it almost a mile of interstate travel so far, but we're showing about 73, 74, but that's really about 68, 69, which is about as fast as I want to go in it. But up at almost 70, it seems to be doing extremely well. I'm not overheating, which I was worried about, because you know, with a just a plain 727 top gear in this thing, we're pretty well stretched out good. I bet we're turning every bit at 3,500 RPMs. But so far so good. Right on, I guess. Well, there you go. It made a 100-mile plus journey home. Did a great job with it. Thing ran great, drove great. Cruise control worked, even the horn started working. In fact, the heat worked so good, I think I might have sunburn on my face. Yep. Just gonna wrap this episode up, guys. I appreciate you watching it. If you don't mind, give me a like down there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about us. Guys, I'll see you next time.